run home from school to watch, and you know, if they were on the podium already, we'd sort of like quickly turn the channel over so we didn't see the result, and then you'd sort of rewind and watch it back. And yeah, so to be winning a race like that is huge. So biggest win on the road would be Paris-Nice. You know, the first 7 stages was great, and the 7th stage I was second behind Geraint, and Contador attacked numerous times at the last climb. It was a long climb, it's 10k or so. Contador's the rider he is, you know, he never gives up either, and he always gives it a good shot. And you know, you don't win 7 Grand Tours without being able to recover well and you know, do it again the next day. And you know, I had confidence in the team around me, and when Contador attacked the first time and we sort of let him go, I could have followed him, but I stayed with my other teammates, and I think I had at least three guys with me who did a great job of bringing him back before the final climb up Col-d'Ez. And then when he attacked, that's when I sort of just felt my legs go a bit really, and then slipped out the back of the group. And then I'm thinking, it's not just the lead that's going here, it's the podium. Col-d'Ez sort of comes up around here, drop down into Ez village, and then yeah, you can kind of see the main road there all the way down into Nice, and quite a big main road. It's not really steep, the descent, so that's why I decided to put a 54 on for the race.
Was that the 54, the bigger chainring, what you'd attribute to catching back on at that point and closing that gap the first time as well?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be a tight race, and Contador was going to attack. And when he went up Pay, which the top is Le Turbie, and we dropped down, kind of had the confidence in the boys just to, you know, keep him in check really and bring him back. Mentally it takes, physically it takes a bit more out of you, but I think mentally as well it's a lot more stress. You know, you're constantly thinking about those time gaps, and even on the sprint days or, you know, undulating days, and yeah, like there's just a lot more going on, and you've got the pressure of like the team riding for you and everything. And that's one of the things of certain learning as well from, you know, leading the teams in 1 week races as well. And yeah, you don't want to let people down, and you don't want to let yourself down as well. You always want to get a good result, and so yeah, that's where the pressure comes from. Nothing from the team as such really, or outside. It's more just the pressure you put on yourself, and yeah, not wanting to, knowing that everyone commits and done everything they can for you, you want to finish the job off. Yeah, I think riding the track as well early on in my career has certainly given me a few extra years on the road. You know, I haven't had those hard yards every year like someone like Stan, I'd say, who from when he was 12 really, he's just been suffering. But he's you know, from when he was pro, he was doing classics, and he was like, you know, Grand Tours and big stage races, and you know, from January until October, year after year. Start of the descent's kind of where those houses are really. You come through there, it's quite steep, and it's a few tight corners. That's the most technical bit. And then
but you know it well.
Yeah,
racing, yeah.
You obviously know that really well, and this is the main sort of road all the way down into Nice then, so you know, from the bridge all the way, and as you can see, it's pretty gradual really.
And this is where
big wide roads.
That big 54 tooth chainring really came into its own.
Yeah,
tanking it down here.
54 definitely came in handy here, and you know, as you can see, all the bends are wide and not exactly sharp or anything, so you've got a lot of space to drift out. And
it's not a very technical descent, is it? It's just very fast, and
it's not technical at all really. No, you got a little bit as you go into the village, but then after that, the last 10k is all just main roads. No real. There's obviously corners, but there's nothing really that you've got to brake a lot for. And like I say, it's not too steep either, so you're pedaling all the time. Well, there's a long right-hander which is maybe 3 lanes, and that's where we caught the other group really. So we kind of lost a bit of speed there and sort of hesitated a bit, and it was kind of like, well, straight to the front, just keep going. And then there's a few 90-degree corners as you come into the port, and yeah, I think I ended up riding off the front actually with somebody on my wheel, but it was just, all I was thinking about was just 100% all the way to the line. And then I knew the group that I was in would sprint for the line, you know, in the last 200 metres. So it was just get as close to Contador and them as we could. it's just always been in me, that sort of fight really, and that, you know, that never give up sort of attitude really. And yeah, even though if it was a bad situation, you just, especially you've got the jersey on your shoulders and you just got to give it everything to keep going really. And this is kind of the point where I thought I've maybe saved the day now.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to go just as you come. It's a tiny little rise out of the port, but it felt like a bit of a climb actually. It was you're that on the limit. But yeah, I could see Contador and Richie and Tim Wellens just out in front then. I thought, yeah, I think I've got it, but you know, there's still time bonuses on the line and things, so it was just yeah, full gas all the way down. And obviously the finish was just past that big round thing that's sticking up. I'm not sure what it is, but some sort of monument or whatever, but it gave us more of another reference point to chase. And you know, when you're coming down the mountain and you can hear the time gap slowly coming down, like 24 seconds, 22, 20, you certainly like, oh, come on, yeah, let's keep going, we're catching, we're gaining. And yeah, but this part was just by far the hardest. You know, it's kind of like your legs are just completely blown and you've got nothing left, but you still have to keep going, keep pushing, and just that real horrible, like tight, heavy feeling, and you just, yeah. So it was still anxious. You know, once I crossed the line, I still didn't know, and my Swanee who was there was kind of like, yeah, well done, you've won. I was like, 100% I've won. He's like, yeah, 100%, I think. I was like, I'm not celebrating until I know, like, definitely, you know. And but thankfully, yeah, I ended up winning. It was like by 4 seconds at the end, which is kind of crazy, really, when you're racing over 1200k.
Pretty tight margin.
So yeah, it was, but the feeling was just amazing. It's all bike racing at the end of the day, and okay, the specific is slightly different, the specifics, but when it all goes right and you get a win or you're part of a team that wins in the Tour or whatever, it certainly makes all those sacrifices worthwhile. And I just love racing my bike, whether it's a 1 day or a week race or a 3 week race. And I think for sure my training will be tailored around stage racing now and climbing and, you know, my weight and stuff.
So you think, yeah, like, so based on what you've learned from both 2015 and 16, that you think that you can give a much better showing in the Tour in 2017?
Definitely think 17, yeah, will hopefully be my best Tour yet. Yeah, 15 gave me the confidence and the belief, and 16 I just learned a hell of a lot. And it's the first time I've concentrated on stage racing really, on one thing, on the road. So yeah, I learned a hell of a lot, and I think that'll definitely come into play as long as I can remember that.